Hi friends, welcome back to Nearly Same Games. Today I thought we'd just try to goldfish Ser Boltyn a little bit and get an idea of what kind of combat lines we can have and how to play the deck a little bit. I like to goldfish my decks to figure out what I want to do, improve my lines, and handle different situations. All right, so let's put a counter on our tunic. This hand is fine. So our goal with our first turn is to charge, and that is our primary goal, and we usually want to have 2 or 3 cards in our soul before we really get rolling here. So another thing is we want to look at maximizing damage. And with this hand, Take Flight already is going to be our what we're going for here. So what we're going to do is let's use a Captain's Call and give our next attack with cost 1 or less plus 2. We will use Celestial Cataclysm for our resource, and we will Take Flight and charge. So we get plus 2, we got 5 coming in here. We have Go Again, so run Raiden out for another 3, and starts us off with 8 damage and a card in soul. Not too bad for starting the game. Alright, let's see what our next hand gives us. Now, when you're gold fishing, you also want to consider what you're putting into your arsenal. And right there, our first turn, we didn't put anything in our arsenal, which isn't great. I'd prefer that we did have a card in our arsenal. All right, so we've got some options here. We could Take Flight for 2, and then have Raiden give us Go Again, which would give us 5. That's not bad. Or we can cross the line directly and take our 5 from there, and we'd also be able to put this Take Flight in our arsenal, which I think is going to be the line that we're going to take. Courageous Steel Hand, probably not. We could also cross the line, charge, and then use Courageous Steel Hand to give us another 1 over the top. But right now what I'd like to do is get another card in arsenal. And I think it's going to be the Take Flight. Take Flight generally gives us the most flexibility in what we're doing next. So we'll lead out with Cross the Line. We'll put the Cross the Line back in there for later. That'll be good later, and we'll charge the Courageous Steel Hand. And then Take Flight's going to go in our arsenal. So we're coming for 5 this turn. And now we are set up pretty well for our next turn. Our Tunic counter will go to 3. If we can pull a V for the Vanguard here, that would be great, because we're all set up for that. That's not what we get. All right, let's talk about doing some damage here. We've got 2 cards in soul, so we've got options. We've got a red Take Flight, which I like. This looks like this would be a good Lumia Ascension turn. So let us, again, I want to consider what we're going to have for late game if we happen to cycle our deck. And I think late game we're still going to want the Take Flight. Well, no. See, here we go. We got to consider, we need to do our pitch, we need to charge, and then we need to do a Lumina Ascension. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use our Take Flight from Arsenal. I know we've got our Tunic counter. I'd like to hold on to that if we happen to get a V for the Vanguard. And actually what I want is, I'm going to want to put Express Lightning in there. If we do pull a V from the Vanguard, having a 0 cost card is what's going to make that turn go. So I am going to, a red pitch Take Flight later would be good. So I'm going to use that red to play the Take Flight, and I'm going to charge the blue Take Flight. So we're going to get 2 with Go Again. I'm going to use my Lumia Ascension, and I'm going to swing with Raiden for 4. I'm going to give it go again, and then I'm going to swing with Raiden for 4 again. And this gives us, and we'll look, let's say we hit with the second one. We get a Command and Conquer. That does not go in our soul. So that'll go to the bottom of our deck. And we'll put Express Lightning into our arsenal. So we've got 2, 4, and 4 that we've swung for, which is 10. That is what I'm looking for in a turn, basic turn. I want to try to average out 10 damage per turn. All right, let's see what we have next. Another Express Lightning. Another Express Lightning. So much Express Lightning. All right, so now let's see what kind of pressure that we can put on here. I'd like to use this Bolting Blade. And to use that, I'm going to need 2 charges or 2 resources to do that. So what I can do is I can do Express Lightning from Arsenal. We can charge, create a Steel Hand. Then we, charge with Express Lightning. Then we can use Courageous Steel Hand to give it +3. And then we can come back over with the Bolting Blade. And we're not going to be able to give the Bolting Blade go again, but I think that's probably okay. So let's do that. Express Lightning from Soul, charging and Express Lightning, and surprise, Courageous Steel Hand, which lets us give it go again. And now we've charged once, so Bolting Blade costs 2 less, so we'll pitch 2, and we'll Bolting Blade. So we've got 3, 6, and another 7, so we've got 13 for that turn. Not a bad turn. And I like to go through about 8 hands. If we get to 8 and we're playing against Chain, we're probably dead anyway, so let's see what we got from there. Okay, Enlightened Strike, always a little bit awkward. We need to ditch a card from hand in order to do that. And so we should have a 0-cost card. And this is where I like to give Enlightened Strike go again, because we're going to have to use Express Lightning. If they block, then we can give it go again, but otherwise we're not going to be able to. So I would still like to charge this turn, but would like to use the Enlightened Strike. We do have 2 cards in Soul, but 2 is what I want for a good V turn. So I'm going to try to make this work without that. So let's do, remember we need to sequence this properly. I'm going to put Take Flight at the bottom, I think. So we're going to Enlightened Strike for 5 with go again. We're going to put Take Flight on the bottom. And then we can Express Lightning charging. And that gives us an okay turn. So we've got 5 and 4. Do 9 damage that turn. That's okay. All right, let's go again. Ooh, a Valiant Thrust. Across the line. There's our Via the Vanguard. That's got to go in our arsenal. We want to have that for a 5-card hand. So what do we have left? Battlefield Blitz we can roll out for 5. The rest roll for 4. Sure. So we'll pay the 1. Play a Battlefield Blitz and charge. And this comes up for 5. Oh no, that one does not let us charge. So we want to do across the line. We want to make sure that we charge whenever possible. So we'll cross the line for 4, and Via the Vanguard will come back in our arsenal. And that'll leave us for a big hand next turn. So now let's see what this deck can do. These are not the things I want to see. Oh, well, sometimes you get just an awful hand. Now remember, V the Vanguard only gets +1 for each attack for each light card you've charged this way. So it looks like we're going to be charging twice. We could charge twice. I hate to charge 2 of these. So I think the line here is that we're going to burn one of our Vs and save our V for a future turn. This is about as bad of a hand as you can get for this, so I think what we're going to do is let's hold our tunic and let's try to get some value out of this. Let's give our next attack +2. We're going to pitch 1 to pay for a V of the Vanguard. And we will charge once with V of the Vanguard. That means V is coming in for 4, 5, 6. And we'll give it go again. And we'll swing Raiden for 4. So we've got a 10-point turn, but we're also still set up for another V turn next turn, which they will probably not be expecting. It's not the best hand. Let's see if we can make our last hand better. Oh, and this, well, Plunder Run, making it awkward. All right, so I think this is our charge card. We have plenty for another Celestial Cataclysm afterwards. I think we should be able to draw a card here. So we're going to play our Plunder Run and our Captain's Call. This will let us draw a card if we hit, which we probably will. And Captain's Call will give the next attack +2. We're going to use our Tunic counter via the Vanguard, charging once. And this is coming in for 4, 5, 6. We will give it go again, and then we'll bring down Celestial Cataclysm for 8. And that has go again, and we'll bring in Raiden for 4. So 6 and 13, 14, and 18. All right, not a terrible turn. Not the best, but we can kind of see what we're going for here. Yeah, and I think we'll, so we hit 77 for 8 rounds. It's a little bit under what, that's probably the low end of what Boltyn should be doing. Boltyn should hit somewhere in the 80s. On a good match, he can hit in the 90s on 8 turns. So that's not too bad. We'll be happy with that, and we'll end it there. We'll see you later, friends.